So, hello, welcome to the kickoff of the student article writing competition. We have a really fun competition organized for this year, so we hope you can join in. So, the student article writing competition is a contest offered by the Instructional Design and Learning Special Interest Group, so IDL-SIG for short, and it's just for students. It is a chance to put your work out there, to get it exposed for professionals in technical communication to see, and it is a chance to expand your network and continue learning through a membership with STC. So I'll just jump it right into the prizes. So one thing is that the winner will have their article published in the IDL's quarterly newsletter. They'll also win a 1-year student membership to STC, including a membership to IDL. So you'll get in on all of our chapter events, and it's pretty fun. And then there will also be a possibility that judges will recommend you submit your article for publication in the magazine of STC. It's called Intercom. So the basic guidelines of the competition are that you submit an article of at least 750 words and no more than 1,500. You can either write a new article or you can hand in an existing piece. And we provide a list of topics on the competition website, but you can also propose another topic. And then just before you submit your article, you just might want to follow the submission guidelines and the final checklist to make sure it all is following kind of the standards of the competition. So in terms of what kind of articles are eligible. So we're focusing on examples of excellent technical communication. That looks like best practices of technical communication. So there's examples like being clear and concise in your writing, chunking your information to make it easy for for wide variety of audiences to read. There's more information in the submission guidelines, but that's some basic ideas. And then you can write articles especially for this competition, or you can use articles from previous assignments. So in terms of eligible topics, we provide topics on the webpage, but you can also write on other topics, just granted that you get the approval of the competition coordinator. So that's Marcia. So for example, our group focuses on instructional design and learning. So designing teaching opportunities to be just be the best that they can be. But we will definitely accept a variety of topics that kind of support instructional design. So for example, I wrote a piece on working with different generations in the workplace. And so because kind of workplace diversity definitely supports the goals of instructional design, you could also write on developments in technology. And one kind of question that you could think about to kind of prompt your writing on a variety of things is, what is a trend in instructional design that you get excited about? Sorry, it looks like my computer just froze for me there. So that's the end of my presentation. So if anyone has any questions, you can definitely feel free to bring up any questions that you have, and myself or Marcia can answer it to the best of our ability.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ruth Ann. Just in, I think, is Marcia going to be able to chime in, or is she going to?
Well, yes, you know I will sooner or later.
I didn't know if it was what you had planned, so that was my question.
Well, first a caution that I am still working on the final submission form, but that shouldn't stop anyone from starting. The guidelines are golden. The updating that we're doing to what's already on the website is in line with these dates. And the dates will be on the calendar. That's one of the things I've talked to Marilee about, but we'll put the dates on the calendar so people can see the deadlines. And we're basically getting everything with the 2023 date on the document and getting all of the terminology consistent with across the forms. So early next week at the latest. I've run into a couple bobbles as I do, but doesn't mean people can't start writing because the guidelines are golden. The guidelines are still the same guidelines. So you can write to that and be assured we aren't going to change the rules in the middle of this. It'll be fine. Something to think about is if you've done a big group project, maybe you've done a research item, maybe you've done polling and interviewing, and you've got 20, 30 pages of interesting report that was submitted for your class. Pull out one of the things that surprised you there. That's what we're talking about when I say surprised you. If you uncover something you didn't think would be pertinent that seemed to come up, bubble up from these interviews or questionnaires, that's an interesting thing to share. Who would have thought that people like this would feel this way about the question we asked?
Mm-hmm.
And you can narrow that down to the particular question and, a short sketch of the kinds of people who say are interested or really hate that particular topic. And that's what we mean too by reusing what you do. You've worked hard on the classwork that you're doing, and you don't have to start from a blank piece of paper ever. That's one of the things about TechCom. We don't usually start from blank paper. We reuse and repurpose to fit the need. So don't be intimidated. You probably know something we'd love to know, so please share it with us.
So even though we have examples of topics on our website, which I just put a link to our website in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel restricted to those. If I have a good idea, might as well go ahead and write it up. I think we would
if it's
love
something that you're interested in, then
from you.
you'll probably write a really interesting article. Mm-hmm.
And we've had articles spark a webinar or a First Friday more casual discussion. So it is one of the pieces in a networking effort. You get your name out there, you have new content to build your portfolio. It's another foot in the door for a TechCom career. Patricia, what do you think?
I'm very interested in this, but I don't know that I would be like, is this something I would do as a student because I'm not technically a student, or is this something you're asking my opinion as far as the whole thing? I don't know where I fit in this because I came to this group last month. I know nothing except for what I've been teaching myself about instructional design. I shouldn't say I don't know nothing. For instance, I read about ADDIE and it's all stuff that I know. I just never heard the acronym ADDIE before. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been in education for a long time. It's, but of course in things like the corporate world, it looks different. And
Yes.
do you know what I mean? So I shouldn't say I don't know anything. I know a lot and it transfers over, I guess you'd say. And I'm super interested in instructional design. And the more I read about it, the more it's something that I want to do. Like I knew I was interested in technical writing. But so like, are you asking me as far as like, what end of things are you asking me in regards to? Because I'm
Okay.
very new to this and I apologize, but
No, very good question. You are certainly welcome. All right, this student article writing competition is for students. They don't have to be student members, but they have to be enrolled in usually in a technical communication, or be interested in instructional design. You, however, wouldn't do this competition, but you can take these same guidelines and write us an article for the newsletter anytime. All our members are always welcome to participate in that.
Okay.
And
Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but I wasn't sure because, like I said, I'm very new to the whole technical writing field and the instructional design as far as, so yes. So I think this competition, from the very little I know about it, sounds like a wonderful thing, something to draw people in and to get them thinking, about, instructional design and how it fits into technical communication. I did not see the list of topics, so I can't really give feedback in that regards. How is it students, like any student, or is it students who are already members of STC with the student membership?
We typically say students, but in the past we have appealed to all of the technical writing, instructional design programs at universities that were within our orbit, so to say. So we want the teachers to tell their students about it, and we haven't always appealed to just STC. This year we have thought maybe it was a little easier to do it within, but it should be open. I think it should be open to everybody who is in a program with it. It doesn't have to be STC. So that's one way for us to get to have students become interested in this if they're not in a program. But if they're in the program already, then that's great too.
Okay, I think it is a really good idea to have it open to people who aren't already student members. Because for someone who is past the, I'm a student phase of that type of a thing, although, I mean, I might eventually, not at the moment, go into a master's program, but like not a, I'm not involved as a student at the moment, I guess you'd say, in a program, but I'm, okay, so I looked and researched and found the Society for Technical Communication when I initially was looking at things, and it seems like there are a lot of opportunities for a student to learn about different niches and to also network and that type of thing. But I don't know that they would necessarily know about STC unless they were searching like I was specifically. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a good way to kind of get the, the society's name, to people who are in that field, to help them, to help themselves, I guess you'd say. And then I would imagine it would be very beneficial with the society to have these members to also be able to find students who have very bright futures and kind of guide them into the field so that they're, quality, quality designers, I guess you would call it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
There is a mentoring type of a feel to this.
Mhm.
In addition to, as you pointed out, it's a good way to get the word out. We're not doing it specifically for publicity, but we do want to be
Right.
able to start some conversations, and let them know that we do have these First Friday things and that they're
Mhm.
welcome to attend. We've got a lot of practitioners and they can get their questions out, or practitioners can talk about what we're doing. But I love the idea that we don't have to think of our quarterly newsletter as something for students only. It can be for any of us. And we don't also have to think of, well, if you were published, let's say you were published in our newsletter, or let's say in our newsletter and in the technical communication body of knowledge, the TC BOC, that this would look good on a resume. I mean, I think it would just be good for you, as far as your reputation, even if you already have a job and you're not a job seeker. I
Mhm.
think there's a lot that this program has to offer for
Mhm.
students and practitioners and job seekers and the curious. And it's a good way for us to share information. We all know something. And it would be great for us to be able to have a way to share something. And our newsletter is one of those ways. TC BOC is another way. And this competition just sort of adds kind of a little energy to that effort.
Right.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording because I don't want us to feel intimidated by the recording.
Okay.
If you are watching us on YouTube, you can find out all the information that you need on our website, and that will be in the show notes on the YouTube recording. So just look down.